Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chant Up Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. What up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. You know what you're tuning into, man? This is a segment we call here Chin Check. This is where we rock you guys' chin with boxing news, boxing information, boxing rumors. And sometimes we give you the odds of the fight so we can put a little bit of money in your pocket. But today we want to kind of spread our own little rumor here at CTB because this is a fight that we want to see happen, but a fight I would say we don't mind seeing happen, especially if it happens next. Because I think both of these guys should be at a crossroad. You got one guy who's looking to break the pay-per-view market. You have another guy who just got knocked out on a pay-per-view card, but he's looking to get back to the winning ways and on the pay-per-view card. To my Rollie, man, and Ryan Garcia, man. That fight should happen, in my opinion. It's already built up. The shit talking would be funny as hell, in my opinion. And like I said, both of these guys, especially now, Rollie has a great social media following, so this would be a great fight for social media. And they can get a little bit of those Logan Paul and social media numbers, I guess. What you think about that fight, man? Before we ain't gonna give our prediction on the fight because it's a man-made fight, but who do you lean slightly in that fight, and how do you think about the fight?
Man, it's actually a pretty close fight to me. Like I said, I ain't gonna go too far into details, but I think that's one of the reasons why it's so intriguing because I can see it playing out like 5 or 6 different ways in my head. But if you just made me, held a gun in my head now and said just to pick somebody, I would maybe slightly favor Ryan Garcia, slightly, but it's real close. So that's why I would favor. As far as the fight overall, I think it's a perfect match for each other. I think that you got to think Rollie is with Mayweather, and Mayweather is when he match made, he about making that paper. He not gonna pick Rollie in there just with anybody at 135 because now Rollie got a name, like you said, he got a following. So we talked about it the other day. We said maybe he could fight a Frank Martin or Keyshawn Davis or somebody like that. But to be realistic, Rollie think he too high for those guys now. So he's not gonna want to fight those guys after fighting on a pay-per-view with Tank Davis and making a good a good check. So Mayweather is gonna say, who can Rollie fight that he can possibly win, but also get good money and maybe even pick the fight on pay-per-view crazy if it may seem. And that would be Ryan Garcia. The same for Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia runs his mouth a lot. He calls out Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and all these other guys. But to me, until he shows me realistically, he was the mandatory for Devin Haney for the WBC title. He didn't fight him. Tank Davis, he been calling Tank Davis' name forever. He haven't fought him. You got a guy like Cambosa, or you got Lomachenko out there if you want to try to make that fight. Because Ryan Garcia, even though he with a lot of bullshit, he has a big following. So these promoters will be quick to make a fight with Ryan Garcia because some of them see him as food and a big paycheck. So for Ryan Garcia, I feel like he always want to pick with Tank Davis anyway. And Mayweather can use that to double up on that fight because he can make the Rollie and Ryan Garcia fight based on how you gonna perform as far as what Tank Davis did in that fight. So he gonna be trying to make it look easier than Tank Davis did. And if he does, Mayweather can say, okay, Rollie lost, I got a good paycheck. Now I can put him in there with Tank Davis. Because now people are intrigued to see what the fight would be like. So I think they're the perfect match for each other, man. I'm actually going to live and say that's gonna be the next fight that's gonna be made for Ryan Garcia and Rollie.
I agree with you, man. I agree with all your points except for who I think the winner is. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I'm gonna say I think Rollie will win, only because we making this video before the Fortuna fight. Let's start by saying that. So the Fortuna fight will, of course, change my opinion depending on how you look at that fight. But I think Rollie is too big for him. Going by Garcia recent opponents, man, they smaller, and he seemed kind of gunshot. Well, I ain't say he was gunshot against his last opponent. He seemed like he couldn't get the guy out of there. He couldn't get the guy hurt enough to cause any serious damage to the guy. The guy survived. Even though Rollie got knocked out by Tank, and that's in crazy ass fashion, that is Tank Davis. Do you think Ryan Garcia punched like Tank? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. We don't know. I don't think so, but his followers think he does punch like Tank. I'm pretty sure Oscar De La Hoya thinks he punches like Tank to some degree. So, like it's like you said, it'd be a great gauge for Oscar De La Hoya to say, you know what, yeah, I'll make that fight. Just so you know what I'm saying. If Tank knocked him out, I'm pretty sure Rollie would knock. I'm pretty sure Ryan Garcia could knock him out too, and then we can make that big Tank Davis fight. That's what Oscar De La Hoya would think. And like you said about Mayweather, that's Mayweather see money. There's 2 checks coming to him anyway. It'd be easy work for his eyes to Rollie, and then that'd be easy work for Tank Davis if he has to get past Rollie. So the way Mayweather looking at it is, I'm gonna get that Ryan Garcia money twice, and I'm gonna want to get him in the back end anyway, because we all know there's no way in hell he being Tank Davis. So Mayweather will make the fight too. It'd be a good way for Ryan Garcia to get some of his money back that he had to pay Errol Spence the Rollie fight. He did put money on Rollie, 20K on Rollie. So that'd be a good way to get that money out of his ass, I guess you could say.
Nice.
Must be nice, right? Must be nice. But that'd be a good way for you to get that money back in blood or whatever, and by fighting them in the ring. So I'm like you, man. That fight happened. It has to happen next, man. It's too many variables and too many different ways. Like you said, if I can go, and too many different ways that it could be promoted. Yeah, this fight should be happening, bro. It should be happening. You got anything else to add to this topic, bro?
I think we covered it all.
Well, there you go, man. Like you said, man. This is your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chan Talk Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Schley. Say peace to him, man.
All right, everybody. Please hit the like button, subscribe, notification, comment to help our channel grow. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace, and love, and we out of here. Take care.